Sorry guys that you're gonna see this image of Ren in front of the anime because it kept on getting blocked and I deleted the main footage, so that's all I could work with. So but don't worry, it's not gonna be like this every episode. Just it's on me because I think I made the image of the video of the anime like a little bit too big because I wanted you guys to like be able to like see it a little bigger, but I'm gonna have to make it a little smaller and like a little bit more opacity, in the next videos. But you'll still be able to see it pretty good. So yeah, sorry. Okay, that gun, that prop gun might have to do with something.
Just as I thought.
Damn it, bro! I wish I could do that too, man. Just walk in the room and just know what the hell happened.
I don't know why I was expecting him to be. What am I supposed to do with that little escape artist?
So I know the method.
Oh, you
I'm
see?
pretty sure of the motive.
I knew it.
Now all I need is enough evidence to prove it. But if he was
He's
as
in
careful as
another
I
room.
think he was, finding the evidence I need could be a little tricky. But if I don't find something, we'll never be able to make the rap stick.
Okay, Rach, if you were a brat, where would you be?
If I'd known this was going to
That's
happen
so
when we were in here
cool.
earlier, I would have messed with a few of his things.
True.
Wait a minute. If
The
I
prop
remember
gun.
right,
No? That. Oh my god, I think
this
it
is
goes.
just what I was looking for. Now all I need to do is find the rest.
Conan
And
looks
if
like a
I
little
know
rat right there.
Richard, so I was right. Hijikata is the murderer. I almost didn't catch
He put the gun in
He
there?
conned us pretty good, but now that I'm onto him, he won't get away.
Nah, yeah. You gotta admit, that's really good. Like, how the hell? I don't know how he did it, but I know what he
Do you
did.
care to comment?
Spill it more. We
But I
know
know
there's
how he
something
did it.
going on.
My source says that it's former actress Isabel Nottingham, and that you and your daughter were on the scene when the crime was discovered.
Is that true, Detective Moore?
All right, just give me time for a quick smoke first, okay?
Inspector. How's it going, Detective? You think
Is
these
that the
guys
same-
are falling for it?
Yes, sir. At least I hope so. It looks like Moore's
Wait.
got the reporters in here focused toward the front entrance, just like you planned. And our men guarding the perimeter say the reporters outside are gathering in front as well.
All right, then. Let's do
Is this the same
quiet.
guy
Moore will keep
from
them
the
busy
movie?
while you get Blackwell and Hijikata out through the back door. Tell Mr.
That
Hijikata
he-
we need to ask him a few questions, and then he'll be free to go. Arrest Blackwell
That he
for
didn't
murder.
want to give.
Yes, sir.
He didn't want to give the gun to Conan to shoot the guy that was holding Rachel. Is that the same guy? Because I feel like I only
hey,
seen him in
detective.
movies.
Hey, Conan, how are you? What's up?
I was just looking for you. Detective Moore has something he wants you to do for him, and he sent me to tell you what it is. Okay, listen up.
Detective Moore, we're dying over here.
Come on, man.
Wait,
You
is
had
it
your
sleep
smoke,
already?
now spill the beans.
I bet he doesn't even know anything. If he did, he wouldn't have to sit around and stall like this, would he?
Bro, he's
All right, you
annoying.
bloodhounds. I shouldn't, but I'll give you a hint. Come on, boys, gather round.
What?
Careful,
So
he's gonna get
Harrison
cocky.
Blackwell murdered Isabel? Do you mean the actor?
Not so loud. This is confidential stuff. You ingrates want to get me in
Dude.
trouble?
Why
He's
keep
so
it quiet if it's
dumb.
cut and dry? I mean, it sounds like a closed case to me. You were up there in Johnny Hijikata's place, and you witnessed his wife fall onto the veranda next door, dead as the proverbial doornail, if you'll excuse the expression. The veranda in question opens from the fifth-floor condo of one Harrison Blackwell, who was still inside by the time you burst in with the police to find the body lying exactly where you saw it fall while you were outside.
Also, those rope
If all of this is
burns.
true, and he never left the room around the time of the murder, then he must be the killer.
Looks
He
that
must
way,
have
doesn't
carried-
it, gentlemen?
Yanked her
Right,
up,
that's
right?
good
Or
enough
something
for
like
me.
that.
That's front page material if I've ever heard it.
You're not going to believe
Hey,
this.
it's me. Get me a camera crew pronto.
Dude,
I've got
Rich
a
is
story.
so dumb.
Yeah, it's about Harrison Blackwell.
No, wait! I was lying! Hey, whoa! Don't look at me. I didn't say that. Who did?
Wait, what? He didn't say that?
Detective
Wait, what did he
Moore?
not say?
Would you like to
What did
retract some of
Conan
the
say?
information you gave us, Detective?
I swear this bow tie does more of Richard's talking than he does himself.
It's true. On the surface, Mr. Blackwell seems to be the obvious suspect. But there's more to this case than meets the eye. What do you mean there's more to it? Are you holding out on us, Detective Moore?
Yeah. He doesn't have to tell you guys.
Hurry it up. Moore's still got their attention for now, but it won't last forever. I don't know how he's kept it up for this long.
Wait a minute, you just told us Blackwell's the murderer, and now you're saying it's somebody else?
That's right. The killer went to great lengths to make sure we thought Blackwell was the guilty one, when in fact he's innocent. And the true killer, the one who had us all fooled, is the man about to sneak out the back door. Isn't that right, Mr. Hijikata?
Oh, shit.
They're sneaking both of them out the back.
Hey, maybe we can get a statement.
You got some explaining to
Hey
do,
guys,
Mike.
how's it going?
Inspector McGuire, can you say what this is about?
Can you corroborate Detective Moore's statement
Dude.
for us, sir?
Inspector,
Paparazzi's
do you or
so
do you not have a
freaking annoying,
suspect?
man.
Or is it two?
Detective, are you
They're like
insane?
little weasels.
Since when is Mr. Hijikata a suspect in the first place? He was on the veranda
Little
with
rats.
you when the body fell out of Mr. Blackwell's room. And what about the murder weapon we found? The rope, the one used to kill Isabel Nottingham. We found it in Mr. Blackwell's condo along with the corpse, remember? He's even confessed to being inside the condo at the estimated time of her death. And you'd think he'd have noticed if someone dragged a dead body through his living room. So how could anyone else have killed her? She died in his condo and he was the only one there.
That's right. Mr. Blackwell must be the murderer. There's no other answer.
But what was his motive?
It was love. They had an affair and he killed her because he couldn't have her.
Wait, we don't know that yet.
They're so basic.
Why don't you just leave
You
the
gotta
question
think
of
around-
motive to the professionals?
Think different. Oh, shit.
Well, Inspector, I can't argue with your reasoning skills. If that really were the situation, Mr. Blackwell would be the only viable suspect. But what if the veranda we all witnessed Mr. Hijikata's wife collapse onto was actually part of an elaborate illusion? And in truth, that veranda wasn't on the 5th floor at all.
No, wait just a minute.
Oh,
What
yeah.
the heck is that supposed to mean?
He's like, bitch, how the hell? He's like, how the hell did you find out?
But what if the
wanna
veranda
know
we
how
all
he did it,
witnessed
though.
Mr. Hijikata's wife collapse onto was actually part of an elaborate illusion? And in
And I don't know how
truth,
he
that
killed
veranda
her.
wasn't on the 5th floor at all.
No, wait just a minute. What the heck is that supposed to mean? Whoever's phone that is, turn it off.
Actually, it's mine, Inspector. Perfect timing, really, since you'd all like to know what I'm talking about.
What are you saying? Your cell phone's gonna help us solve the case? You really have gone round the bend this time, you know that? So just cut to the chase already.
All right, but I'll have to ask you to help by taking the phone out of my pocket. You know how I hate to break my concentration when I'm in one of my trances. By now, your
no.
detective will have discovered Mr. Hijikata's interesting sense of style.
Hello? Yes? Wilder, is that you? So what's this all about? Did Detective Moore tell you to call this number? What's going on? Where the heck are you? And more importantly, why aren't you working?
Sorry, sir.
Too many
I'm in Mr.
questions.
Hijikata's condo on the 6th floor. Detective Moore asked me to check something out for him, but there's something weird.
Something weird? What do you mean?
Everything is exactly the same. The television, the curtains, the sofa, the tables, chairs, everything. And they're all set up in the exact same places. It's
Oh, yeah, remember
identical
when
to
she
the
said
condo
that?
he keeps on the 5th floor.
Remember when she
And
said,
even
oh, you're being
weirder,
weird,
it's
like
directly
moving
above it,
stuff,
sir.
moving the furniture.
Wait, it's above the other one?
Yes, sir. The only difference is that there were 4 cups of tea on the table in the living room of the 5th floor condo, and there are none on the table here on the 6th. But other than that, I swear they're exactly the same, sir.
Oh,
Mr.
he
Hijikata,
switched
I don't
the
suppose
floor
you'd give
numbers
us an explanation for the reason that
when
the
they
living
went
rooms of your condos
downstairs
on
to
the
call
5th
the
and 6th floor
popo.
are exactly the same.
Well, I guess I just...
It was done to create an optical
'Cause
illusion.
he kept
The
on knocking on the
veranda
door
we
and
saw
this guy wasn't
Isabel
coming
collapse
out.
on was not on the 5th floor, but on the 6th.
The 6th?
That's right. Mr. Hijikata took us to his 6th floor condo and tricked us into believing we were on the 5th floor. He left us waiting in the living room of the 6th floor condo, while he strangled Isabel in the room directly below us.
Wait,
Then he
what?
carried her to the
He's trying.
6th floor, to the room next to us, directly above Mr. Blackwell's room, and left her there. He set her up so when the time came, she would collapse on the veranda in plain sight of his room next door. Then he returned to the living room where we were waiting and pretended to have taken a long time with the tea. When he decided it was time, he invited us to step out onto his veranda. We
Hey, I was
chatted
right.
for a
I was
little while.
joking.
Then he pushed the send button on the cell phone he'd set to call his condo next door. By
When I said that
directing
he's
our
gonna go kill
attention
his
with the
wife.
ringing of the phone, he manipulated us into witnessing Isabel's body collapsing on the veranda, a veranda we believe to be on the 5th floor. And because Mr. Blackwell owns the condo next to Mr. Hijikata's on the 5th floor, we were convinced the veranda we saw her on was his own.
But we found her body in Mr. Blackwell's condo with Mr. Blackwell. Are you telling me that he was in the wrong condo?
No, Mr. Blackwell was in the right condo. The body was in the wrong one. After we witnessed the body collapsing, Mr. Hijikata immediately ran to the room next door. He pounded on the door and shouted, but obviously no one answered. No one could. Mr. Hijikata is the owner of that condo, not Mr. Blackwell. Mr. Hijikata actually owns all of the rooms on the 6th floor, as well as the room next to Mr. Blackwell on the 5th floor.
I said
After
something
we
about
knocked
that.
on the door for a while, we volunteered to go down to the front desk to get the spare key, while he used his own to retrieve the body. He used the rope he had set out earlier to carefully lower Isabel's corpse to Mr. Blackwell's veranda below.
Dude, that's hard.
Using
What the
a
hell?
rope. How would he do that?
He probably put the rope around Isabel under her arms, lifted her over the balcony, and lowered her until he could throw her in. Then all he had to do was pull the rope out from under her arms, and she would appear to have collapsed there. You'll find the proof if you look for scratch marks under Isabel's arms. When the rope pulled loose, it took some skin along with it. Not a pretty sight, but at least she didn't feel it.
Wouldn't that be kind of dangerous, dangling her over the balcony? What if she fell and somebody saw her?
Actually,
messed
the whole
up
thing
jokes
sounds
Conan
a lot
does
more risky
sometimes.
than it really was. The veranda faces the river, so the chances that someone would witness what he was doing were slim to none. And even if he dropped her by mistake, the story would probably still hold up. The police would just believe Blackwell dumped her body over the balcony in a frantic attempt to hide the evidence when he heard them coming. After he lowered Isabel to the veranda, Mr. Hijikata returned the 6th floor room number and nameplate to its original place, removing the false 5th floor plate he'd switched it with. Then he ran
Damn,
to
that
Mr.
was so
Blackwell's
much
room on the floor
work,
below.
bro.
He waited in
How
front
was
of
he
the
not
room for me to
sweating?
return with the spare key, pretending he had been there, guarding the door the whole time. And that is how we were tricked into accusing the wrong man.
Hey, man, that's up
Do
there,
you think
bro.
all of that can actually be done? I mean, lowering the corpse, changing the nameplates, all in the space of time it took you to get a key.
If he made sure the elevator wasn't waiting for me, he'd most likely have the time. My guess is that he had several dry runs, practicing the timing and order of things, simulations to prepare him for the real deal.
Not the
Wait
same
a
day,
minute.
right?
When you were first invited over, you rode the elevator to Mr. Hijikata's condo, right? Didn't you notice on the way up that you were going to the 6th floor and not the 5th? If you looked at the floor indicator on the elevator, it would have told you that he'd taken you to the wrong floor. That's risky.
Very.
Yeah, that's what I
It
want to know,
left a
too.
chance, but Hijikata took care of that little problem by starting his illusions early on. From the moment we entered the elevator, we were controlled by his magic tricks.
Huh? What magic tricks?
Inspector, why don't you
Magic
go take a
Hido?
look at the elevator floor indicator plate? There should still be some evidence of the little trick that he pulled. Quite impressive,
Conan got
really,
skinnier and
how thoroughly
taller.
he conned all of us with his cheap illusions. Impressive until he got caught, that is.
Hey, yeah, it was impressive. I mean, she just falls.
What's that? There's a little black mark.
It's probably some
Oh.
leftover ink from the marker Mr. Hijikata used to trick us, then wiped off.
Wow.
By using a black-colored marker to block out the line that appears in the lower left part of the digital number panel, the 6 could very cleverly be made to look like a 5.
Wow.
That's pretty
Obviously.
Okay then, wise
For
guy.
real.
What about the number
Yo, this
2?
one's
huh?
good.
You take out the line on the bottom left-hand side of a 2 and you don't get any number I've ever seen.
He used sleight of hand for that one. While we were in the elevator, he handed us his business card, keeping it low so our eyes would be focused away from the numbers he was standing in front of.
Wow.
That's a cheap trick, but it doesn't mean it wouldn't work. In fact, all these tricks sound like they'd fly if they were pulled off smoothly enough. Sounds like he had all his
That's
bases
great.
covered.
The only
this
thing
is
he left
crazy.
a chance was my ride in the elevator to get the spare key. But he was pretty sure I would be too distracted by his wife's murder to notice a strange-looking 2 in an elevator, much less figure out that the missing line was part of a dangerous game he was playing with smoke and mirrors.
You talk about smoke and mirrors, Detective. But it seems to me you're the one who's playing with illusions when you accuse me of crimes you have no way of proving I committed. Have you ever heard
Oh,
of the
yeah.
thing that our wonderful judicial system likes to call evidence? You have no proof that I murdered my wife or even that I brought you to the 6th floor, not the 5th.
What
I
other
totally
reason
forgot about
could
the
there
evidence.
possibly be for having
The
two
whole time he
completely
was just
identical
explaining
living
how he
rooms
did
and
it.
condos that are 1 floor apart?
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. Since when is unimaginative decoration against the law? But before I continue talking without my lawyer present, how about showing
my
me some
gosh.
hard evidence? Because without it, you don't have much of a case now, do you,
This
Inspector?
piece of shit.
Wow, since you're so certain that we have no evidence of having been in the 6th floor condo, You must have made sure that you wiped off any fingerprints we left behind from our visit.
Fingerprint?
Let's see. Could you have done it when I ran down to the front desk? Nah, too risky. Maybe it was while you were rushing to clear away the teacups in the 6th floor living room.
Rushing to clear away the teacups?
What you
That's
mean?
right. Just one of those little details Mr. Hijikata was so careful to see about during his plan.
I feel like
Unfortunately,
teacups have
clearing the
gotten a
teacup
lot of
left
people
little
in
time
trouble
for wiping away fingerprints
in this
now,
anime.
didn't it?
You've got nothing unless you can show me some hard evidence.
Inspector, could you ask Detective Wilder to take a quick look around the place?
But I'm
believe
guessing
that if he takes a careful look at the living room floor, he'll find something interesting Mr. Hijikata just might have missed.
The living room floor.
You got that? Check the living room floor for something unusual or out of place.
Something unusual, okay?
he's the little thing, he left it there, right?
I think I found
Yeah.
something. It's a tiny little piece of metal.
Is that what you had in mind, Detective Moore?
If you check under the nearest sofa cushion, you'll find the rest of it, and then you'll have your proof. It's something that I hid under there. Something I would never have seen before I entered that room, but now has my fingerprints all over it.
Oh yeah, that would make more sense.
Inspector,
Yeah.
he's right. It's a model gun, and it was hidden just where he said it would be.
A model gun? Really? But that's... Detective Moore, you're absolutely positive your fingerprints are on that model, because otherwise we don't have a case.
Positive. That metal piece Wilder found is the trigger I accidentally broke off the model while we were waiting for Mr. Hijikata. I didn't
Yeah,
want to have
Conan's
to
fingers
admit
on it
what
too,
I'd
though.
done. So in a
know
rush,
if
I
that's
hid
gonna
the
do
gun
anything.
underneath the sofa cushion so he wouldn't see it. I had no idea it would be such a stroke of luck. But as it turns out, my
For
clumsiness will give us
real.
all the evidence we need.
That's if it wasn't because of
You
that
see,
gun
Mr.
he
Hijikata,
broke.
even Houdini
he would've
couldn't
gotten
get out
away
of
with
this
it.
one. After the corpse was found, I was in Mr. Blackwell's room with the police the whole time they were there. I came downstairs with everyone else, and I've been with Inspector McGuire ever since. In other words,
Wow.
if the room you took us to the first time wasn't your place
That
on the
actor had
6th
horrible
floor,
luck.
then there's no way my fingerprints could be on that model. And they are on that model, Hijikata. Oh,
Alright, now
there's
tell us
one other
why.
little detail of the
And
suspect's
it's not 'cause of the
plan that I
cheating.
forgot to point out. In order to make Isabel's body collapse at the right time, he wrapped fishing line around her neck and attached it to the curtain rail to prop her up temporarily. After a
Oh,
few minutes, her
trusty
body got to be
fishing
too
line,
heavy
bro.
for the thin line, and it snapped, allowing her body to fall out onto the veranda just in time for us to witness it. And that
I
about
wonder how
sums
many
it all
times
up. Wouldn't you
do
agree,
people use the fishing
Samurai
line
Star?
in this anime.
That's pretty good, Detective. But you're missing one important thing. Don't you want to know
What,
what drove me
bitch?
to kill my loving wife after all these years? I mean, there must have been
Oh.
a motive.
Mr. Hijikata,
Yeah.
sir, are you confessing to the murder of your wife?
It's not cheating.
Yeah, I killed
She
her.
was cheating.
I strangled her and I framed Harrison Blackwell for the murder, just like Moore said I did. She was having an affair
Was
with
it-
this two-bit loser, so she deserved everything that she got. And besides,
Oh,
I
it
needed
was?
her insurance money to rebuild my production company. That's two birds with one little stone.
Oh, okay. Makes sense.
All right, you vultures, that's enough.
So, how did you figure it all
Don't really
out,
feel
Moore?
bad for
Did you
anyone
just
here.
get lucky this time?
I knew something was fishy when the phone rang in Mr. Blackwell's room. It was different from the ring we heard when we were out on the veranda.
Now, wait a minute. I thought of that too. I made sure I had a phone with the same ring as the phone in Mr. Blackwell's room.
Luckily,
Dude,
I
he
got a
sounds
brand
so
new phone
chill.
yesterday.
Knowing he's
Lucky
done,
for you, but not quite so
he's
lucky
going
for
to
me.
jail.
I don't know. Let's see if some time in a cell changes your mind about that. Who knows, Hijikata? Maybe you'll enjoy prison food.
Oh, I don't think I'm going to prison. After all, I'm an actor. Why do you think I've been so free in front of the media here with my confessions? The
Wait,
public
what?
adores a celebrity involved in a big media trial, and they always have a way of influencing the jury in our favor.
I doubt it. I mean, I've seen that before. That's horrible. But I don't think it's gonna work. I don't think it's gonna work. Imagine it does. Yo, that was a really that was a very elaborate freaking kill, bro. The way he did it, that's crazy, dude. Conan spent the whole, like half the episode explaining it. And that's crazy. All right, let's see if there's something in the end. Go.
Rise and shine, sleepyhead.
Well, it looks like you've done it again, Detective Moore.
You were amazing. I've never seen anything like it. You should have your own crime show, detective.
Yo, that's a fat, skinny guy. He has a
I should have
fat
my
guy's
own
face
crime
and
show.
kind of
Hey,
skinny
that's a
guy.
great idea. Chicks dig crime shows, right?
Yeah, girls do like crime
Spoken
shows,
like
right?
a true genius.
You weren't expecting a good moral, were you?
Bruh. Yeah, that was great. You gotta love Detective Conan, man. But alright guys, great episode. That was from the two parts that we've seen. I'll say maybe the one before the last one is the best one out of these two parters. I think I'm gonna be real with you. My brain's a little foggy. All right, I just had I think I've had 4 hours of sleep the last 48 hours. So yeah, so be patient with me. But yeah, these two parts. Yo, I love Detective Conan, man. I love it. I love it, bro. It's. I look forward to watching it. I need one of these days. I'm just do another little mini marathon, and it's just the last time I did a little mini marathon was Inuyasha and Detective Conan. That got me. I enjoyed it, but it got me though. But I loved it though. But yeah, anyways, let me know if I missed anything in the comments. I love talking to you guys. Y'all the best. And please leave a like. It's super easy. Just press that button. Only if you enjoyed yourself, you want more. And yeah, I love you guys. Y'all the best.